Hi, and welcome to, I guess this is a special edition. I'm calling this Mouthwash Talks, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. My wife just yelled down for the pizza. I thought I told her I was going to do this live at 7:30, but I'll have cold pizza tonight, I guess. But I won't keep this long. I just want to do a recap of my pretty much first real week of being a press reporter down at the Statehouse. And it was everything I thought it would be as far as the learning, trying to get my cameras right. And I don't have a cameraman, and as a lot of those folks down there that are reporting on their own. I was actually by Adam Wren and the guy from CNN, and I had a guy in the New York Times. Made some friends. What's funny is the younger people down there that are doing sort of the grunt work, the camera stuff, and everything. We had fun waiting in line with them. I'm like their fun old boomer friend now because it's a little, it's a little stale down there, if you may imagine. And me and my little personality, I like to, I'm a little loud and obnoxious sometimes, but they seem to like it. I had them laughing. We passed the time, but it was a very long day, a couple days at the State House, and you know the uh, uh, the verdict came down, and it's a different verdict. That's what it sort of was. When the vote came after a lot of testimony and a lot of things, it seems sort of anticlimactic, like, oh, it's over. I mean, even the side that won wasn't that happy, and the side that lost wasn't that mad. But I think they were just all really tired uh, of things. But I did get a couple good interviews, so I'm going to do that tonight, and we're going to talk about the Marsville floodplain. I know that's going to make your eyes glaze over, I'm sure. But let's see. I want to start out with one here. I'll start out with. I'm going to start out with this one. This is one after the vote. They have a spot in the back where the press can get in, and then that person will come out and talk, and we get to put our cameras up there, and it's sort of like a scrum. You're like pushing in there, and I was able to ask a question. I mean, I just sort of bulldogged my way in there, and I asked a second question, and I'm going to play that for you now. Now, I didn't. I had to piece together the audio from one camera to the other camera because it didn't really work. But Adam Wren, who's with Politico, was there with me, and I let him get in front of me. And this is sort of, I don't know if this is really cool or not. I may not even want to tell the story, but he basically took my question, put it on his website, and looked like it either, I think I saw him stick his hand up there and do the picture, but it is very familiar with what I did. It's courtesy to give credit for people like, my friend Pete, Andy Peter, he took a picture of me. I give him photo credit for it. And then also, it's not real cool when you go to Twitter to make a comment and you're blocked. So he takes the stuff and blocks me on my personal page, but he didn't on Mouthwash, so I was able to at least comment on there. I just thought it was a little cheesy. I don't know. He was very intense. I would say he's one of the hardest working guys down there. He was right back with me at the press corps, right next to me. He kept running out in the hallway, taking calls. I mean, he was on his computer he was, let's see, I would hire him. And I know that he works for Pete Buttigieg. I think they hired him to follow him. And I'll tell you what, he's a worker. I don't know about his ethics after how he treated me. And next time, Ren, I won't let you get in front of me. I'll let you look at my back because he's about 5'3", and I did him a favor by letting him in front of me. I might not have that mercy next time. I'll just sort of block him out because it gets to be a scrum. But here you go. This is it's too short, but I got to ask a question like I was like a professional media guy. So here you go. Here's my moment in the sun.
As far as you're concerned, is this done and over, or is it going to be revisited?
I think, we can't revisit it this session because this is a bill from the 2026 session, and we can't revisit it this year.
And I had a couple people tell me, "Hey, we saw you on TV asking your questions." So, I just like I said, I'm just having fun down there. But I did get a couple other interviews with. I got Mike Gaskell, Senator Gaskell. We were getting ready to get things going, and he was the guy. He was the man of the hour. He was actually he was the Senate side of the presenting of the bill. So he had to answer the questions and do the final wrap up and all that. And he was the one that did the testimony on Monday or whatever that was. And I went down, I testified, and he did a great job doing it because there was a lot of people. He got through it with them. He was treating everyone fairly. And I was just very impressed. So I just wanted to say, and I talked to him before, I knew him before. And, trying to get these guys to warm up to you is, it's tough. I mean, because there's a lot of these media folks that are out to get them. They don't know who there's going on. There's a lot of tension in this from bomb threats and different things. So for them to come up and talk to you, I had my little camera. I had it working there with the microphone and all that. So that was working okay. It just looks like I'm like this guerrilla war journalist or whatever. But I'm going to play that one. Let's see here. Here's Gaskell's. And he caught me off guard at the end on this. I did not expect the end of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, and you'll see my new friend, Andy Peter. He's the one that's been taking some pictures and sending them to me. And he's been doing this as long as I have, for about a little over a week. So you'll see him in there, and he's a good guy. So I've made some friends down there, except for Adam Wren. I don't know why. So anyway, but here you go. Take a look at this one. It's about a minute and a half. There's my buddy Andy, my new friend. So, hey, Senator Gaskell, good job yesterday.
Thank you.
That was a good job. Yeah, it was like herding cats chasing butterflies on the back of giraffes.
Well, I was more concerned that everybody. It's kind of intimidating for a citizen to come down here and sign up, especially in something like that. And I wanted everybody to, no matter how late we had to stay, to get the.
It was impressive.
Some people signed up twice, and I almost messed up because we had John Schmitz.
I was John Schmitz.
And John Schmidt.
Schmidt, yeah.
And so when I got to Schmidt, I thought, well, he's already signed. He's already talked. And then Nikki caught me and said, hey, it's close, but it's not.
Yeah, I had Senator Young on my show last night, and I had Micah Beckwith, and then Rodney Pohl and Mike Young on to talk about the redistricting.
Senator, this is your 5-minute call.
5 minutes, so.
My big thing here is that although I want to win this, and I'm going to give it all my effort, my primary allegiance is to Jesus, and that's number one, no matter what.
Yeah, and we know who wins that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's not going to change eternity. And we know where we're going, and it won't take us long to get there.
All right. Yeah, I just want to shout out to the people in the live stream. I see, the Indie Reporter. We got Stevie Whitmer. Now he's going to be doing a show on his YouTube at 8:00. So I won't be that long on this because my pizza's getting cold downstairs, and I'm hungry. And I see Jerry Lopez. Hey, let's go, amigo. That's right. And he says here, he gave me photo credit on that. I know which photo is mine because Mike Young had not voted yet, and his is in white. But it is interesting to see what goes viral. And we got Special Power. Hey, thanks for coming over. I know you're a witty friend, and I appreciate that. And then we got Ogden, my neighbor over here by the in Wayne Township. He's watching. That's great. Appreciate it, Special Power. You're another. You're doing your thing. But let's see. I want to show you this real quick when you talk about things. See if I still have that. Oh yeah. You talk about stuff going viral and people picking it up. And I have noticed that, I'm getting more followers, and I think that, I'm trying to, you need to have that impression right at the start. And I'm trying to be a guy that's fair, that's going to talk to people, that is going to, we're going to call balls and strikes for sure, but we're not going to be trying to spin this. I saw so many people trying to spin things, especially in that media press with certain people. They just want to get their side of things out. And of course, the protesters down there, I just don't know if they really make a bit of difference at all. It's just sort of loud. And there's a couple of them that had to get thrown out of the gallery because they were loud. And on the Senate floor, they have rules. You have to have a tie and a jacket, and you can't go past the line. That's, if you noticed there when I was talking to Senator Gaskell, you was like, why didn't you just go up to him? We can't. They have to come back to us. And when he started coming back to me, then I could go to him. So there's these rules that you have, and they're sacred. I mean, they're sacred. I would say this too. When I was there Wednesday, when they did the second reading, it was a much better, it was a much looser, freer vibe that I was getting. And that's what I was thinking. I was trying to pick up a vibe on how this was going to go. And it just seemed like everybody's relaxed, like, hey, let's, we'll do this. But when I walked in Thursday, man, it was a whole different tension there. And I was thinking that this is probably not, it sort of changed my opinion on whether they were going to have the votes or not. Now, I did not think it would be 19-31, but I was not shocked. I think that Shelley Yoder, she was the Democrat leader on this, and she was genuinely shocked because we interviewed her afterwards. I don't think the media was as it was easy to get into her. Rod was a different story. And I did try to get him on his way out because he had to walk right by me. I said, Rod. And he just had his head down and he's gone. So he answered his questions and that was it. But I just want to show you this one here, this image of this is just something I put on social media that it's actually up to about 2 million views now. And it's just a boomer taking a picture of a coin, and the comments were hilarious. People made more fun of me, and I did it on purpose. I said, I wonder how many people would actually tell me what kind of coin this is or make fun of the boomer. And man, I was not disappointed. It was unbelievable, the comments, and that's what got that thing rolling. But you can see how something gets going. That's just in 4 days. You can see how something goes viral. And I'm bringing that point up because a lot of this politics stuff, folks are relying on someone to give them a truthful take on this stuff. And we have so many spin doctors out there that want to spin this or spin that it's tough. It's tough to get that. And I think in our politicians, we want to have someone we can trust. We don't want to have to follow them every day and have somebody hold them accountable. And I would say that with Steve Whitmer's show, Witty Reviews, and his Indie Reporter, he's out there calling balls and strikes. It's not pretty sometimes with what he finds out. And he's a little rough around the edges as far as going after some people, but he's reporting on it, and you can trust what he's doing is backed up. It's the sauce, he calls it. I got the sauce. I'm not going to be putting stuff out there with this doesn't have the sauce. So I say that. So on my way out, I see Ed Delaney. He's a Democrat rep up here, and I think 86. He's been around for a while. Always an interesting guy. And so I got an interview with him. I'm going to go ahead and play that right now. And I think this is a good one. I mean, well, here you go. I'll let you be the judge of that. I think all my stuff's good. So there you go. You got to be happy with the results today.
I'm gratified. I'm pleased. I'm not jumping up and down because we got a lot of work to do, but we can do some positive work. That's the difference. This is the issue. Were we going to just sit here and fight with each other about nonsense in politics, or are we going to get onto the task? What are we going to do about young people buying houses? What about people who need preschool? What about the preschools that are closing? Things like this. I hope we're going to talk about real things.
So do you think that now with this, because it was 31-19, it's when you have
the Republicans voted against this.
I think the constituents had a lot to do with it.
Let me say that. I really believe in having a referendum. What we did, and I'm proud of this as a Democrat, we decided to work the town hall business as hard as we could. And we had outside groups that wanted to support us, but we fundamentally did it. We went out and talked. And we found out that people were interested, and they also were opposed. So they took over. They showed up in the thousands at the crowds. They sent the emails and stuff. So we kind of gave them ideas or arguments and encouraged them and maybe brought them together. But, I'm so proud of it. This Statehouse actually acted as a center where people come to make their point of view.
Yeah, I think on the other side of that coin, I just personally, I think that the Republican messaging was just awful.
They weren't happy. I said they didn't like this. They didn't want to do this.
Do you think if they would have come out with the proper messaging earlier, they would have had a possibility? There's no way they were going to get it done.
Act immediately.
So
they didn't act immediately. Once they did this was over.
So with the vote today, do you feel a little more comfortable that maybe some Republicans will start working with you on some things, or you think we're going back to the cats and dogs?
I think they will. No, I think they will. And of course, we'll be more. I mean, I've got some ideas that I had to decide if the vote went the other way, or even bother, because not only would they be beat, but I would need all my energy for resisting. So now I got some time to do some positive things. How about that?
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I always enjoy your speeches on the floor and that, and thank you for taking the time with me here.
I'm happy to.
All right, all right. So it is interesting, getting people to talk about things, and I know that the more I'm down there, the more that people are trusting me, that I'll be able to get some more interviews. I want to try to get some one-on-ones. It's the sound in there is awful, and it's tough to get a mic, and I'm working on getting some more equipment. But hey, I'm just a poor dumb bricklayer. It's taken me a minute to get this done. But we touched on some points there. And you heard him say, if they would have out of the gate, they would have had a chance, but they didn't. And you got to get hats off to the Democrats. Like I said, I call the balls and the strikes. They had mobilized. They worked hard on this, and the Republicans were lukewarm. Now, I personally, I was very neutral on this. My only thing was when I testified, I was complaining about Andre Carson not serving my neighbors here in Mars Hill. Selfishly, that was the only reason I thought that this redistricting would be be advantageous. It was selfish reasons. I want to get a rep that is going to actually get some stuff done. So that being said, if you do have any questions in the comments there, let me know. I'm going to put up this thing here. Well, I can't talk during it, so let's see. Well, maybe I can. Let's see. I'll figure it out. So I got this clip here of well, hold on, maybe I can do that. Okay, can you hear me at all here? Let's see. Nope, we're good. I think you can hear me. All right, I'm going to take that down. But anyway, because I don't think you can hear me, I didn't put it in the right format. And I don't want you to sit there for a minute 34 looking at a blank screen. But that was I finally got some. Well, let me back up a little bit. They're finally starting to pay a little bit of attention to me, because when I testified, I called out Andre Carson and some folks with the city about this floodplain in Mars Hill. And, I really wasn't testifying for, I'll be honest, I really wasn't testifying about the redistricting bill other than the fact to get a message out to get our floodplain fixed. So oddly enough, today I get an email from my county councilman, Jared Evans. And so I'm thinking that they may have gotten the message that maybe we need to answer the question here on things. So I did get some information back. I'm still trying to discern it, but it looks like they're trying to work on this project. And of course, they're not getting any big hurry. 2028, I think, is when it's going to get done, or when they're talking about it. But I think $1.5 million is going into planning. And I'm just shaking my head. And that's about what Andre Carson funding was getting. And I was trying to find out where it went. So that's going to be my driver here. I'm not, this political thing is one thing, but getting things done would be very nice. We just did all of this exercise of futility in getting redistricting done, and doggone it, we still got a floodplain here in Mars Hill and all sorts of other things. One of the things I want to talk about when we were talking about messaging, so I did a little research on, the murder rate, because that was in my testimony. I'm not going to bore you with that testimony, but I talked about, why aren't we working on our roads? We have high homicide rates. We have, homelessness, we have poverty. We have all these things to work on. Why are we not doing it? And then why do the Democrats have this great plan? Because I saw Shelley Yoder and her group get up there and talk about all these things we're going to do, and we're going to do them, and we're just going to do them. So I thought to myself, I said, well, where are Democrats in control in Indiana? Well, let's see. Let's take the top 4 cities where Democrats are in. They got Indianapolis, Gary, Fort Wayne, and Evansville. Now, those 4 cities, they are responsible for more homicides than the rest of the state combined. A fact for Indiana, they lead the state in violent crime, regardless to what you hear them say it's down. Well, it might be down, but they're still leading. And then you have Gary, overall high crime rate. They have had the worst murder rate for years now. And for something happened mid-year, because they've had a 55% drop in that. It's gone from like 36 per 100,000 to 29 which is the highest in the state. Fort Wayne has increased 44% over the last year on their violent crime and homicide rate. Evansville, same thing. Those are all 4 Democrat-controlled cities. And why we have to push for redistricting when these issues are main. I would say that if you were running against a Democrat anywhere, you point to these statistics and ask your constituents, do you want this in your area? And that is the kind of messaging that will get this out. To heck with redistricting. It's done and over. Trump's going to come do this. Who cares? Show us the money. Let's talk about issues, kitchen table issues, electric bills, whatever. If you have one of these area, hey, welcome them. I mean, think about it. If you get a data center, you don't have to provide any schooling for them. But if you get these folks, you come in there and you make a deal with them, you tell them that they're going to pay double on their electric. And that other half of their electric bill is going to go to the people that live in the area. Hey, let's negotiate. Let's negotiate some stuff. Let's negotiate like your Kirk Signetti getting your IU contract. We're awful good at this. You want our support. We want something up front. We want it now. We want this to be looking like that. We want it to be what you say. We want you to pay for, our improvements. It's an old trick that these zoning boards do. If you're a developer, you come in, they make you make a sidewalk to nowhere. They'll add all these different things on that they need for their thing, or you won't get that development, or you'll have to put a water line in and give it to the utility. I've been there, done that, and it works. If you want to do it, you'll do it. Get something more for the thing. These commissions, these commissioners, these county commissioners, they know how to do this stuff. So if you have a data center coming, you better make sure you get some goods if you're going to have them. So, make them pay the extra electric. Make sure it's there. Make sure the water's there. That's the thing they have up at the Leap. They didn't have the water that they needed, and they wanted to come get it in the Wabash River. And that was one of the things that Senator Good talked about. His new district would have Boone County and this Leap district in it. And by gosh, my constituents don't want that. And that's a good point. So, it's just the politics of things. I'm really tired of it. Let's get some stuff done. And I think that's all the clips I have here today. So that's it. That's all I have. And but thanks for tuning in, and make sure you catch Whitty. Look, I got done in time for him on his YouTube. I'm going to try to catch it. I have no idea what he's going to talk about, but I know he's digging up some stuff. He had some Bohachik. Senator Bohachik was there, and he was giving me some mean looks because I produce Whitty's show. I'm like, this is not my monkey, not my circus. Don't give me mean looks, dude. I'm not the guy. I'm going after Rob Kendall. He's the clown of the hour right now. So he won't answer my text messages. I've been text messaging him, and he says he's like everybody else is a coward if they don't meet him, and he won't even answer me back on stuff. So I think he's scared. But anyway, that wraps up my week at the Statehouse and my next project of this floodplain. I'm going to try to get a meeting together with these engineers and see what they're doing, because what I've seen so far will not work. It will flood Kenny Warden's house, the one we fixed 7 years ago. We have got to do some things differently. And I know it's like watch paint dry. It's like nobody's excited about it. You want to elect people that you can trust to get it done under budget on time. We don't have that going on in this city right now. You friggin' can't even drive across the place without getting detoured or whatever. I had a lunch with my fraternity brothers at Working Man's Friend, and Washington's tore up. Then the next road's tore up, and had to wait on a train. It was like 30 minutes late just because I couldn't get there. And then you get there, and the roads that you can get on are dumpster. So that's enough. That's enough of that. You're going to get me all wound up before I eat, and then I will have good digestion. So anyway, is there any more last comments before I go? It doesn't look like it, but I appreciate y'all staying on here. I have no idea what we're going to have for the show on Tuesday, but we'll have something. That's for sure. So, all right. Well, let me get to the end of this thing. Appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned. And hey, get some people to like and follow. I get all these comments on there, and my little analytics say that comment. Come on, man. Give me a like and a follow. That's all I ask. So anyway, have a great day. We got a little summer coming in. Have a great weekend. See you later. I heard Rivers was going to be starting for the Colts. See you. Bye.